Hello and welcome to our channel, Shelba Mindset. In a world where wealth is dazzling and poverty is heartbreaking, a striking contrast defines the lives of millions of people. On one side, we see luxury, sparkling skyscrapers, fancy cars, and grand mansions. These images of wealth stand out against the tough reality many people face. Here, families struggle to put food on the table, their lives taken over by daily hardships. Their homes, often small and falling apart, show the huge problems they deal with. The big difference between these two worlds makes us wonder, how can some people get so much money while others struggle just to live? That's the question we'll try to answer by looking at how this uneven spread of wealth keeps happening. Join us as we explore the lives of two people, each showing a different side of this tricky situation. Their stories will show us what helps some people get rich. Let's look at the very different lives of Ateba and Yamal. Ateba, a hard-working factory worker, stands for the millions of people who work hard for society but struggle to get by financially. Even though he works hard, Ateba's money barely covers his basic needs.
On the other side is Yamal, a smart business person with a good eye for chances. I represent those who have found their way to making money, our lives showing how smart we are with money and how we make good choices.
Ateba and Yamal, even though their money situations are very different, have one thing in common. They are both a part of a system that controls how money moves around. As we look deeper into their lives, we'll find out the main reasons for this difference. At the heart of the gap between Ateba and Yamal is a basic idea: assets. Assets are things that can make you money, grow in value, or both. Yamal gets how powerful assets are and puts his money into them for his financial freedom. Ateba, focused on his daily struggles, is stuck in a cycle of earning and spending. Yamal's journey to financial freedom started with a big decision: to put his money into a rental building. This active way of building wealth is a key part of how Yamal handles his money. His first rental building was the start of his path as a real estate investor. Every month, Yamal put some of the money he earned back into his property.
While Ateba was working hard at the factory, I was busy setting up a future of financial security. My rental income, even though it was small at first, grew steadily over time, giving me financial freedom.
Yamal's story shows how much assets can change things. With every good investment, he became more confident and added more properties to his list. His story is a great example of how important it is to understand money and make smart choices.
My money situation is very different from Yamal's. While he's enjoying the good things from his investments, I'm stuck in this endless cycle of living paycheck to paycheck.
Ateba's earnings, which he gets from working hard, are barely enough to cover his basic needs. The heavy weight of not having enough money weighs a lot on Ateba's shoulders.
Every unexpected cost messes up my carefully planned budget.
This constant struggle to make ends meet leaves him feeling defeated and without hope.
Unlike Yamal, who sees money as a tool to build wealth, I see it as a way to survive. This way of thinking, where I always feel like I don't have enough, stops me from looking into ways to grow my money.
Ateba stays at his job, and his money situation depends on whether he can work. His story is a strong reminder of the problems faced by millions of people who are trying hard to make ends meet.
My experience shows the urgent need for more understanding about money and better access to help.
Yamal put his rental money back into his investments, which created a snowball effect. Small, steady actions led to big results. His first investment got the snowball rolling. His rental income grew, making his investments grow even faster. This good cycle helped Yamal get more financially secure, but Ateba, on the other hand, stayed stuck. The snowball effect was out of reach for Ateba. Yamal and Ateba's stories show how important time is. The snowball effect needs time to really work. Ateba didn't have what he needed to get this going.
Encouraged by the success of my first real estate investment, I explored new ways to grow. I understood that having different types of investments was key.
Yamal's investments, which used to be only in real estate, started to get bigger, including a mix of stocks, bonds, and a small part in a new company. His investment plan was based on really knowing about businesses.
I spent hours looking into companies, checking their money situations. This careful way of doing things helped me find valuable things that could grow a lot and take advantage of chances in the market.
While Ateba stayed at his factory job, Yamal was busy building a variety of investments.
My story shows how powerful knowing about money can be. and how important it is to think about the long run. Making money is about making smart choices, handling risks well, and letting time help your investments grow.
Caught up in the daily grind of making ends meet, I stayed unaware of ways to build wealth.
His lack of money smarts and access to help created a problem that seemed too big to fix.
Investing felt like a faraway world to me. Not knowing about it and not understanding it made me feel helpless. While Yamal was going to investment talks, I was stuck in a loop of working, earning, and spending.
The chances to grow were there, but Atiba, without the knowledge and help, stayed stuck. Atiba's story shows how important it is to have more money smarts and access to help. If you see yourself in Atiba's story, or want to be as successful as Yamal, share this video to inspire others to understand the system.
For me, the idea of investing felt as far away as the stars. My life was a constant cycle of trying to meet my monthly payments.
Rent, food, and transportation ate up most of his money, leaving him with very little.
Every month, the same thing happened again.
This constant pressure left him with little mental space to think about building wealth. Survival, not getting rich, became the main goal. Yamal, on the other hand, had a different kind of freedom. His rental income gave him a financial cushion that Atiba could only dream of.
This safety net helped him handle unexpected costs.
This big difference in financial breathing room showed a major problem for those at the bottom of the economic ladder.
One night, on my way home, my car broke down. Panic set in. Desperate, he took out a high-interest loan, the only option available to him with his limited credit history. The monthly payments quickly became another weight dragging him down. This was the sneaky nature of debt. A quick fix that often made the very problems it tried to solve even worse.
Meanwhile, Yamal, facing a similar problem, just dipped into his emergency fund.
The car incident showed another big hurdle for those struggling financially. Not being able to get affordable credit.
Once the debt spiral started, it became a strong force pulling people away from being financially stable.
As I fought to handle my growing debt, I felt a sense of hopelessness settle in. I dreamed of a way out, a chance to break free from the money problems that held me back.
Atiba looked through job ads, hoping for a better paying job, but there weren't many choices. Yamal, on the other hand, had the luxury of choice. His financial security gave him the freedom to try new things. Their different experiences showed how much financial problems can limit your options. Atiba, stuck in the cycle, didn't have the money or the mental energy to invest in himself. This lack of chances kept the cycle of poverty going. It was a bad cycle, hard to break without help from outside or an amazing stroke of luck. Atiba's story is a harsh reminder that true equality means fixing the big problems that stop people from having opportunities.
Building wealth isn't just about making money, it's about protecting and making the most of what I earn.
Yamal understood that the financial world could be a minefield for those who didn't know much about it. He hired a financial advisor and a tax expert who became trusted partners. This approach allowed Yamal to keep more of his earnings. Atiba had to deal with the tough job of figuring out the tax system all by himself.
I carefully filed my tax returns every year. While Yamal was using tax laws to his advantage, Atiba was paying too much. This difference in financial smarts showed a hidden benefit that rich people had. At this point, are you more like Atiba or more like Yamal? Tell us in the comments. And most importantly, subscribe for more videos on self-improvement and money.
Relying on just one source of income, no matter how good it is, has its own risks.
With help from his financial advisor, Yamal learned about spreading out his money. He wisely put his money into different things like real estate, stocks, and bonds. This way of spreading out his money acted like a financial safety net, making sure that if one part of the market went down, it wouldn't hurt him too much. This balanced way of investing, which is a sign of good financial planning, helped Yamal's money grow and also protected him from sudden drops in the market. Atiba, because of his money situation, didn't have this advantage. His main asset, his ability to work, depended on how well the factory where he worked was doing. This lack of spreading out his money made Atiba financially weak, showing another big benefit that rich people have, the ability to spread out risks and get through tough financial times that could destroy those with less money. Yamal could handle money problems with more confidence, while Atiba was stuck at the mercy of things he couldn't control. A network of opportunities, access and connections.
Through my business ventures and investment activities, I found myself surrounded by a network of like-minded people.
Yamal went to industry conferences, joined exclusive clubs and charity events. These connections turned out to be super valuable.
I got early investment chances, got access to special deals, and learned a lot from my peers.
His network became like an extension of his own knowledge. Ateba, who mostly stayed in his neighborhood and workplace, didn't have access to such a network. His social interactions were mostly with family, friends, and co-workers. They rarely led to financial growth. This difference in social connections was another small but powerful advantage that wealthy people had. Yamal's network opened doors to opportunities that stayed closed for Ateba. As Ateba watched the growing gap between his own financial struggles and Yamal's success, he realized something. It wasn't just about luck or connections. There was a basic difference in how they understood money.
I realized that knowing about money was the key. It was the knowledge and tools needed to handle personal money and open doors to opportunities.
Let us know if you liked the video. Tell me by writing yes in the comments. Driven by a new determination to break free from the cycle of financial hardship, Ateba decided to educate himself. He started by looking for resources at his local library, devouring books on personal finance, budgeting, and investing. He identified areas where he could cut his expenses and save more. Ateba's transformation, though still in its early stages, demonstrated the power of financial education to empower individuals and break the cycle of poverty. By looking at the different parts of Ateba and Yamal, we've seen how having assets, the snowball effect of compound interest, and the benefits of knowing about money can create a big difference between those who do well and those who struggle. But their stories also showed a spark of hope, a reminder that the cycle of money problems is not something we can't overcome. Ateba's change, which started because he really wanted to learn, his journey, even though it was hard, gives us hope, lighting up a path to a safer and better future. The world of money, which often seems complicated and scary, can indeed feel like a special club only for a few lucky people. But Ateba's story reminds us that the doors to this world are not locked. With the right tools, knowledge, and support, anyone can learn how to handle its difficulties and reach their full potential. The main thing is to learn about money, to make the language of money easier to understand, and to help people take charge of their own money future. It's about changing how we think, from not having enough to having plenty, from just getting by to truly doing well. It's about realizing that being good with money isn't just about luck or what happens to you, but the result of making smart choices and taking steady action. By looking at the different paths of Ateba and Yamal, you see that the cycle of money problems is not something we can't overcome. The path to financial freedom needs effort, dedication, and a willingness to learn. Start by teaching yourself. Embrace the power of knowledge. Find mentors and join workshops. Talk about money. Learn the basics of money management. Promise yourself to make smart choices. Take that first step and open up a world of possibilities. If you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with your friends. And most importantly, hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next videos on wealth and personal growth.